everyone, welcome to another Twin Flame reading. This is for the Twin Flame Collective. Some weeks it will resonate, some weeks it won't. So yeah, take what resonates and leave the rest behind, right? This is for, you don't even have to identify as a twin flame. If you feel like you are in a high level soulmate connection, just a higher purpose, right? Higher calling, a love revolution, if you will. This side is going to be for the Divine Masculine. This side is going to be for the Divine Feminine. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Maybe someone's walking away, offering their cup of love, but hiding their feelings. Let's see. Maybe mustering up the courage. Who knows? Who knows? I want to know what love is. Want you to show me. Okay, one more shuffle. Yes, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And for a personal reading, check the description box below. Okay, so the checkpoint. Where's the Divine Feminine? We have the lamp, remembrance, so memories are involved. And we have the Ace of Ghosts. So the Divine Feminines that I'm connecting with today, they might be having some painful memories, some sad memories. They might be carrying a torch for someone in this remembrance. I see like very warm, like, I'll always leave a light on for you type of thing, right? And they might be sad, just sort of missing the Divine Masculines. If that's not your energy right now, then this reading isn't for you. I hope I can connect with your energy for the next reading. But for the Divine Feminines who I am resonating with, it seems like you might be crying. I feel like there might be some sadness that has nothing to do really with the Divine Masculine, but maybe you're missing them as a shoulder to cry on, missing them as a partner to share those sad times with. So it could be any number of things. It could be that you are sad, you know, thinking of memories of your Divine Masculine, or it could be that you're sad for other reasons and you just miss the connection you felt because, you know, it was someone to comfort you and someone who understood you, and just kind of wishing that you had someone to share the burdens and the blessings with. So let's see where the Divine Masculine is. The Divine Masculine has Hearth. So both home cards, both of you guys are maybe nesting. Hearth says happiness in our hearts and homes. So he may be at home, creating a space of warmth. Let's see what this card is. We have the Six of Imps. So currently the Divine Masculine is feeling pretty confident. He may have, there's something regarding the home. Maybe he got a new home. Maybe he has some sort of victory in his home life. But you're marrying each other, right? We have warmth here. The Divine Masculine is actually seems to be in more of a positive energy. The Six of Wands or the Six of Imps is a card about recognition, success, victory. But when we have the Ace of Cups or the Ace of Ghosts reversed, like I said, that's a card about sadness. So you're marrying each other in the sense that there's a lot of warmth in the home. There's a lot of fondness regarding home, but the Divine Masculine is feeling more victorious and the Divine Feminine is feeling a little sad. So if that resonates with you, then stick with the reading. If it doesn't resonate with you, then I would suggest you probably click off now and then meet back up with me at another time where a reading might be more connected with you. So let's get on to what the Divine Feminine wants to say. What does she want to tell you? The Divine Feminine wants to tell you Jack-o'-lantern, protection, and 9 of Ghosts. It's interesting because we have a jack-o'-lantern here, a jack-o'-lantern here. She wants to tell you that she wants to feel protected. Maybe this sadness is about feelings of being unsafe, feelings of, not to say that she's not a strong woman, not to say that she's not a perfectly capable, perfectly self-reliant person, but you make her feel safe in your arms. You make her feel protected and like nothing can harm her. And she wishes that she had that protection, right? What does the Divine Masculine want to say? We have Blind Spot, Skull of Darkness, and 10 of Swords reversed, or 10 of Bats. The Divine Masculine wants to tell you that he is still undergoing he's still purging some baggage, and there's still some things he's blind to. He's come a long way in the lessons he's learned, and he might not be actively expressing you know, that he's changed his ways or that he knows better now, but he has learned some lessons and he is processing those, and he hasn't learned quite all of them to come back in, right? He still has some blind spots. He still has some dark things to purge, some just a shadow side of him that hasn't quite been, that a light hasn't been shown on, right? This is kind of a mirror image too, which is interesting because we have the stem of the pumpkin and then this candle up here, and then they're both faces. Interesting. But let's get on to how do they feel about you? So how does the Divine Feminine feel about the Divine Masculine? We have Skull of Stars, Infinite Possibilities, and we have 4 of Wands. Aww. So the Divine Feminine feels like you opened up a whole new world to her, and she wants to celebrate with you. The 4 of Imps, or the 4 of Wands, is the Twin Flame card. It's the 1111 card. So, how she feels about you is that even if you guys are in separation, no matter what happens between you, there's always that connection. Your connection is infinite, right? And you opened up her world and made her believe things she didn't think were possible anymore. And, you know, she went through purging too. So there's just these mysteries that keep unfolding for her as well. And, you know, along with this protection, along with this, along with this protection, it's kind of like, and with the home, and with the home, it's like you gave her a foundation that she never had before, and not even, it doesn't even have to be directly, right? This could just be how she grew as a person when you came into her life, right? So how she got more stable, more grounded, more like knowing what she wants, and just knowing herself more, right? When you came into her life. So what does the Divine Masculine, how does he feel about the Divine Feminine? We have Mummy, change. So the Divine Feminine inspired a lot of change to the Divine Masculine too. you know, there were infinite things that the divine feminine never dreamed of, and now there are changes that the divine masculine never expected, right? And it might have came after a time when he felt like giving up, when he felt like all relationships were the same, all experiences were the same, all women were the same, or men if you know, if you want to swap genders or anything like that. But he just thought everything was the same, and how he feels about you is just when he was about to give up, you came in and changed his world. And I want to say, like, preserve, because the Mummy is about preserving, right? It's like you preserved a belief that he was about to get rid of. It's something very sacred, because we see the pyramids here. That's like a temple honoring, you know, royalty, right? So very sacred, very very much treasured. Let's get on to what are you guys learning from this connection? So what is the divine feminine learning from this connection? We have graveyard, unnecessary fear, and we have temperance reverse. So, you know, the divine feminine might have reacted out of old habits, right? Old relationship patterns that were dead and gone. And so the temperance card talks about balance, moderation. Something might have triggered something in her to where she like popped off and overreacted, right? And sort of brought up like things from the past that didn't apply to you, right? Unnecessary fear. So one example is being jealous of a girl on Instagram and, you know, saying some harsh words, overreacting, being really quick to respond. But that overreaction was a result of not the divine feminine, or not the divine masculine, but of people the divine feminine might have dated in the past, right? Experiences she might have had in the past. So it was like muscle memory that she would react like that, but it didn't necessarily apply to the divine masculine. So what she's learning is to lay those fears to rest, right? To balance herself out and to not sort of have this self-fulfilling prophecy of, you know, whatever her baggage is, right? Men cheat, men leave, whatever the stuff we tell us, right? This is what the divine feminine is learning, is to drop those fears and to practice more patience and gain more harmony within herself. And I want to say keep busy, because in this temperance card we see a witch who's like making a potion and she's kind of happy, just having fun. Some of the interpretations of temperance is cooking, right? It's a cooking card. So I feel like what she's learning is to nurture herself, fill her own cup with these sort of hobbies. Like if she likes to cook. If she likes to do spell work, do spells. I mean, not like, you know, manipulation spells to get you to love her or anything like that, but like just things that ground her and sort of take her mind off of these sort of reanimated zombies, right, that come out and are a burden on the relationship. What is the divine masculine learning from this connection? I just said zombies, y'all, and it's mirroring again. I cannot make this stuff up. I love it when this happens. So what the divine masculine is learning is control. And let's see what this is. I kind of get stuck sometimes with like zombie and control. They explained it in the book, but it just hasn't like absorbed to me. But I was just saying reanimated zombie. I swear, guys, I swear. I did not look at those cards. That's crazy. Okay. But yes, this is all about control. The King of Bats, or the King of Swords, he's kind of very stern figure. He's very solid in his boundaries and kind of unwavering, right? He has these expectations, like he's the lawyer, the judge, the military guy. He like lays down the law. This is what I expect, and if you break this law, there are consequences to that, right? So I feel like what the Divine Masculine is learning is one of two things. One, not to be so controlling, because it's like these zombies sort of like pop back in, right? Or not to control his emotions, right? Because if you like suppress them, if you push down these emotions, then they're just gonna like come out of the grave like this, right? At unexpected times to where you can't control them. So that's one message I'm getting for the Divine Masculine. But another message I'm getting is controlling, like he may have not have taken relationships as seriously in the past. Wasn't there something... I can't remember. But he may have, gotten to a place where he sort of predicted, had this preconceived notion of what relationships are. And so he was selling himself in a way that would protect himself. He was having, like, cutting off feelings with people he dated, and so but he wasn't really discerning about the people he actually dated, right? So he might have treated it sort of silly, treated it sort of like casual, friends with benefits type of thing, and now what he's learning from this connection is to have more of a law about it, right? More standards for himself. You always hear like women should have high standards, but I think it's underrated that men should have standards too, right? So I feel like he is learning to control impulses more, because if he goes about it in silly ways, then people end up getting hurt. Zombies end up coming out of the grave, right? This unnecessary fear ends up coming out of the grave. Like, he could have been innocent, but didn't exactly make the Divine Feminine feel comfortable, right? He might have not been quite the angel. I gave the example of being jealous of Instagram girls, right? So he might have been like taking it casual, taking it seriously, and flirting, publicly or whatever. And so that brought out this zombie, right? That brought out this unnecessary fear. And so now I feel like he might be controlling, he might not be taking relationships as loosey-goosey as he was in the past, so that bitches don't trip. Okay, let's get on to how you're healing the collective. The Divine Feminine is healing the collective with Owl. Wise Seeing Action. Love it. And the Star reversed. So I think what the Divine Feminine, how she's healing the collective is seeing things from a bird's eye perspective and, creating this love revolution for people who have lost hope in soulmates and meeting the one. And she can kind of see, like, why you would separate from your twin flame, why people would get divorced, why we would be in karmic relationships, right? Why you would have to purge old baggage. Like, she sees things from a bird's eye view, she sees the big picture, and so all the tropes that are out there that like reinforce this hopelessness, like you know, you don't need no man, anything like that. The Divine Feminine knows, I was put on this earth to love and to promote love and to motivate others to a higher sense of love. And so I know that that hopelessness is just a way for them to you know, protect themselves from hurt. But I also know that we are meant to ascend to a higher level of love, right? So kind of understanding like everyone plays their part, and letting go of blame, letting go of victimhood, but how you're healing the collective, how you're healing like everyone in the world is by understanding that there is a higher purpose to makeups, breakups, and all of that, right? And sort of taking just a new way of looking at things, so that you can reach that higher place of love. Bring me a higher love. Oh my God, guys! Guys! 2 owls! You guys are mirroring each other like crazy. Look! Graveyard, graveyard. Home, home. And then we have that like face and the stem. Oh my gosh, guys. I cannot make this up! I'm amazed. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed. I cannot. I cannot. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Okay. So how the Divine Masculine is healing the collective is, it says dawn, the light after the darkness. So the Divine Masculine is leading the masculine into a higher perspective as well, because we have this bird, these 2 owls, right? Both signifying wisdom. So both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine probably had really awful love experiences, but as a result, because we have the 10 of bats here, the 10 of swords, that's all about having shitty experiences but learning from them, kind of the Chiron principle, right? The wounded healer. So the Divine Masculine as well as the Divine Feminine had to go through all of these trials and tribs in love so that they could master them, right? So that they could ascend to a higher level, so that they could break free. So there's been all this darkness, there's all this like toxic masculinity, there's all this like war, destruction, treating women awful, but the Divine Masculine is leading masculinity into the light, right? He's leading them into a higher way of loving, a higher way of going about the world. And all of the bad experiences he has suffered, he can rise above that, and he can lead others who have suffered the same things out of that. Oh my God, so beautiful. We also have the 7 of ghosts. So the Divine Masculine, how he's healing the collective is bringing them out of a state of confusion, right? They might feel like they'll never understand women. They might feel like women are such a mystery, they're so confusing, but the Divine Masculine has cultivated a level of mastery in understanding women, partly because part of being a twin flame is to have a balance of masculine and feminine energies, right? So he has balanced his masculine with his feminine, his inner masculine with his inner feminine, right? And he has related to his divine feminine counterpart. He understands her in a way that you can't just understand any old gal, right? So as a result, he is bringing a deeper understanding to masculines as a whole, to men as a whole. Beautiful, beautiful. One of my favorite twin flame readings. I cannot. I'm amazed. I'm amazed at like how it's mirroring. I can't. I can't. Okay, let's get to what do they need? What do they need? The Divine Feminine needs Ghost Regret. Interesting. And Knight of Pumpkins. You know, I feel like what the Divine Feminine needs is, there's some sort of issue. What were we talking about? I guess the Ace of Cups over here. An issue that's sort of unrelated to the Divine Masculine and wishes that he would sort of rescue her, wishes that, not even rescue to me, it's more like someone who understands, right? Someone she can talk to, someone she can bury her face in, you know, and just be held, right? But I feel like what the Divine Feminine needs is to deal with this ghost, deal with this sort of thing that haunts her, or else everything will be stuck in stagnation. Nothing will happen. Excuse me. Nothing will happen. No movement will take place until she sort of frees this ghost, and until she releases this pain, because even if it's not directly related to the Divine Masculine, it's still a blockage in her love. And so she needs to address that so that she can remove any blocks and be open to receiving love. And that could be a number of things. That could be workplace, career, family issues, you name it. But it's going to be different for every feminine. But there's something that keeps like haunting her over and over again, and she needs to make peace with that to unblock her. What does the Divine Masculine need? Barmbrack, Sweetness and Synergy. This is one of my favorite cards. This is like a king's cake in the US. King's cake during Mardi Gras, you put a little baby figurine in a cake, and whoever gets the slice with the baby in it gets good luck. So I think it's Ireland, but during Halloween, they make barmbrack, which is like a loaf of bread. It's very sweet, and you put little charms in it that represent different things, like a ring for marriage, a baby for baby, or whatever. So there's all these surprises, right? I think what the Divine Masculine needs is to be a little sweeter, and to, I just heard like surprise, right? Like, give a gift, be sweet, and offer a little charm. Surprise. I don't know. Let's see what this is. 6 of Bats. So the Divine Masculine needs to, this talks about moving away from troubled waters into calmer waters. It could be a vacation, maybe. I mean, it would be nice if Divine Feminine got whisked away. Because this isn't a solitary energy. These are 2 people and their cat. 2 people and a baby and their cat. Riding off, you know, onto the water. So this guy is not alone. What the Divine Masculine needs is making an effort to move forward, to offer surprises, to open up about that sweetness, right? We have, it's like this zombie control, right? If you repress your feelings, they're going to bubble up in weird ways. So you might as well express them in really sweet ways, right? Instead of like really confusing ways. Okay, let's get on to the last message. One for the road. For the Divine Feminine, we have forgiveness, reducing burden. This could be practicing forgiveness in regards to this thing that keeps haunting her, practicing forgiveness within herself, practicing forgiveness within the divine masculine. You might have to do radical forgiveness. There's a guy, you might have seen the Mind Valley commercials or the Mind Valley ads on YouTube, but he wakes up every morning and he forgives someone because it does something to your brain. So what the divine feminine needs to do is practice radical forgiveness over and over and over and over and over again, right? With herself and with others. We also have Ace of Pumpkins. Yes! And then she can be offered all the treats, all the sweetness, right? All the like surprises. She's open to receiving them once she like lets go of this ghost. Let's go of this burden. It says reducing burdens, right? So anything that is an unnecessary emotional block for her, mental block for her, just forgiving and moving on, right? Not holding any resentments because the world is full of sweetness for you. This shows a jack-o'-lantern full of candy. This talks about sweetness and synergy. Cannot make this stuff up. Divine masculine, we have the veil, the future. Okay. Oh, 2 wanted to come out here. We have Hanged Man reversed and the Page of Ghosts reversed. So the divine masculine might be a little shy, you know, coming back in, and he might just be like tied up, right? Even if he wanted to come in, there's forces in his life that are preventing him from coming back to his divine feminine. But I feel like he needs to be more future focused, more like maybe he's kind of in a past thing too, like hung in the past, right? And so he has shyness about coming forward because he is afraid that it's going to be just like the past, right? Just like this bringing stuff back up from the dead and popping off and getting jealous, right? But that might have changed, right? That, like, I do get the sense that the divine feminine is dealing with other issues that have sort of eclipsed all those petty issues from the relationship, and that she is like, there's been enough time, there's been enough distance to process all of that, right? And to like learn from her mistakes. So the divine masculine can't look back in the past. He has to be focused on the future because, and sort of this blind faith, right? We have this mask over this woman. But blind faith in the future, knowing that it won't be like the past, right? There's no need to be scared. There's no need to hang up, keep anyone hung up, to control the situation, right? Because we talked about control. But to bring it into the light. It's the light after the darkness, right? Moving forward, moving on. Beautiful reading. Lots of mirroring. I love it. Let me know if that resonated. I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personal reading, you know what to do. I love you. Bye.